little control over budget and finance issues due to the restrictions written under the Missouri State Constitution. I think you know something about that, Mayor Slay. The restrictions on the power of the mayor and city. We modified the mission and we became Citizens for Home Rule, which, as many of you may remember, was an effort to amend the state constitution so that voters in the city of St. Louis would be given the authority to change the city charter, a right that has been denied them since the Missouri Constitution was written in 1876. I am truly delighted to have been part of the successful statewide ballot measure that corrected that wrong in November 2000 when Home Rule was passed by a statewide vote. And I think that was a considerable advancement for the city of St. Louis. Today I stand before you privileged to be leading this effort to address another issue that truly affects us all. Since St. Louis city residents voted to break away from the county 137 years ago, there have been ongoing debates about bringing the region back together again. While most discussions have simmered below the surface, there have been formalized efforts to reunify the region once in 1936 and again in 1962, and as you all know, each time they went down to failure. To give some perspective, the last time a serious effort was put forth to somehow reunify the city and county, John F. Kennedy was president, the arch had not been built yet, Neil Armstrong had not yet walked on the moon. And yet folks talk about it all the time. Those of us who are passionate about this issue have often asked the question, why is it that the study and research and data necessary to craft a formal plan or even to have an informed opinion has not been gathered and does not exist? And that is exactly what we are doing leading here today, an effort to gather data that will be pertinent to this issue. And so we are excited to be launching this effort this morning. Please be absolutely clear, however, on this matter. The organization that we are advocating today is not favoring re-entry or merger. Rather, the time has come to gather together information and that can effectively present options and proposals to the people of the city and the county. And I can't tell you how important that is. We are not advocating re-entry. We are not advocating merger. We are just saying, let's get all the data together and then as a group decide what is best for St. Louis and the St. Louis region at this time. To that end, through the Missouri Council for a Better Economy, we decided to start the project that we are calling, as you all know, Better Together. And now it is my great pleasure to introduce Nancy Rice, our very able colleague who has worked so hard on this issue and so effectively, Nancy. I can't say enough about the work that you have done. And Nancy recently led the local control effort that allowed St. Louis to gain control of its police force, and who is now serving as our executive director of Better Together, and who I know is excited to tell you about our organization and what we are seeking to do. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Bert. First, I want to thank Bert and the whole board for allowing me to work on this project. It's already been hard work. I think it's going to be harder, but it's terribly exciting, and I think that based on the response that we're hearing from people, it's very important. So I want to just thank all of you for this opportunity. The Bert mentioned that I worked on the local control, is that right, Yari? That I worked on the local control campaign. And during that time period, we ran the kind of campaign where we went around and we asked people for their support. We didn't run a big media campaign. And during that time, so I had all these civic discussions with people all over the St. Louis region as we were asking them to support our proposition. And they'd say, well, that's great, yeah, I'll be for that. Why aren't you working on city-county merger? Why aren't you? So it kind of was looking around at it. And to underscore Bert's point, we came to the conclusion that there's not a lot of information that will help people write a good proposal, and that most importantly will help voters evaluate a proposal. So if you start thinking about this and drilling all the way down, these governments that we have in St. Louis are here to provide municipal services. And we have a lot of governments doing that, ladies and gentlemen. In St. Louis City and County, we have 1.3 million residents. Those 1.3 million residents share 116 governments. That doesn't count schools or sewers or arts commissions or transportation sub-districts. That's 93 municipalities, 23 fire districts, St. Louis City and St. Louis County. It's a lot of government. Rather than look at